This week we are going to be looking at story sacks. So story sacks are just a great way of bringing extra dimensions to books, and I've got a couple of story bags here that I will show you what's inside them. It's a really lovely way of getting children more interested in reading. It improves their language development, it helps their memory. It's just a wonderful thing for adding more interest to books rather than just sitting with a book. So if I show you the story sacks that I've got here, this one, and you could even present it to the children in this way, go inside the bag. So here's the bag, and you can use any bag, one of those bags for life. You could use a pillowcase, anything that you can store your things that you've brought together for a particular book. So I'll delve into this bag, and you could say, what do we think the book in this story sack is? Now it's a duck, so brings the conversation, again, language development of different books that they know with duck characters in. So we've got a duck puppet. We've also got another duck. And actually in this bag, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 ducks. What book do we know with 5 ducks? And actually this story sack is a book, One Little Duck, and it's actually the words are the song 5 Little Ducks Went Swimming One Day. So with this book, you could sing it, read it, lots of conversation about the ducks in the picture, their colour, the aspects of each duck. So it's got a beak, 2 eyes, they're swimming in water. There's just so much more opportunity in books with pictures than simply reading the words. So this story sack, we've brought together different things into the sack, all to do with this book. And if you had more things at home, then you could add those as well. The other story sack that I'm going to show you has a bit more in. It's got more than one book, but these books are on a theme. So if I show you what's in this bag. Oh, a little dog. A little dog with spots. And so that might prompt the child to try and guess what this story sack is. We've actually got 3 spots in here. We've got several books from this character. And you might have guessed it's Spot the dog. So we've got Spot and his animal friends. Where's Spot? Spot goes to the park. Spot's birthday party. And Spot goes to the circus. We've also got in this story sack, now you can tell how old this story sack is because I'm about to show you 2 tapes. I'm not sure that many people have tape recorders anymore, but if you've got story CDs, pop those into your sack as well. And then you can develop quite a long time's worth of activities from this one story sack, because there's lots of books there to read. We've got 3 Spot the dogs, so you can introduce numbers 1, 2, 3 with those, counting the spots, counting the features of dogs. So dogs have 4 legs, 2 ears, nose, whiskers, whatever, all different opportunities for different language development. Again, drawing on memory. So those are just 2 examples of story sacks. So all you need is simply something to put the items in, any items around the house that you're quite happy to stay in the sack for a time that relate to the book. It could be objects within pictures in the book, absolutely anything. You can get really creative. You could even make things to go in the story sack, like little games. So this particular objects I'm going to show you, resources. So these were made for the book Dear Zoo. I haven't got the story sack for Dear Zoo at the moment. It before lockdown ended up somewhere else and never came back to me. So we've got all the different animals from the book Dear Zoo here on cards. We've also got a matching game. So this is pairs. So we've got 2 of each animal here. So you could play a game where you just spread them on the table upside down, try and match pairs depending on the age of your child, or it could just be put them on the table, they turn one over and can they say the name of the animal, or can they make the sound that that animal makes, all kinds of little games that you could put into the sack. Similarly to last week, how we cut up some cardboard from the recycling bin and drew pictures on, you could draw pictures from the book, create little games with those cards, pop them into the sack. It's actually endless. The more you think about it and the more you get on and do these, the more ideas will come to you. Ideas will just spring from what you're playing with your child. And the opportunities are endless, really. Something else that you could put into your story sack is an activity ideas card. So just a piece of card, again, cardboard out the recycling bin that you can write on with a pen for ideas of things to do with the story sack. So it could be just simply talking about the story and your child's favourite bits from the story. Asking questions about the characters and what your child thinks. Obviously, this is dependent on the age of your child and their language and ability to talk at this point. Retell the story with characters. So like we have the actual little ducks from the Five Little Ducks story sack, use those. You could even draw on a piece of paper a pond for them to go onto and then disappear from. Have something that they hide behind. You could go and find out about different things in the stories on the computer, watching programs, draw a picture of characters from the story, make a model with Play-Doh, story map. So if the story, for instance, like, I'm just trying to think of a story that goes through different scenes, you could draw those scenes onto a piece of paper and then physically show them on a map. Yeah, endless. And if you pop those activity ideas onto a card as you think of them, then each time you get the story sack out, you'll remember what you've done before. And you don't have to store it up here. It can be on a piece of card or paper in the story sack. So just another thing to add into your story sack. So for next week's Zoom, if you could have selected a book, you might do a few, it depends how many resources you've got readily available at home, but just collect together something or create picture cards to go in your story sack and have created a story sack, a pillowcase, whatever it is that you've got at home that you could use. Try it out and bring it to the Zoom next week to show us. That would be marvellous. And let us know how you got on. And most importantly, have